Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me again. I have an exciting interview with Jay. Welcome, Jay. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm
And Jay,
excited, yeah.
you're excited? Okay, great. This is going to be exciting. So, Jay, tell me,
Yeah.
where are you from?
So originally I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I grew up. But I've spent the last 36 years in California, mainly in Southern California, Long Beach.
Okay, awesome. And where are you currently?
I'm in Lecce, Italy,
Okay,
Lecce.
okay,
And in Italian, the C's are like our ch.
okay, okay. Look at you smiling because I know you're taking your Italian
Oh,
classes.
I'm taking Italian classes too, because I
So,
know hardly any Italian.
how did you choose this location?
Years ago, some friends invited me to join them on a trip to Tuscany.
Hmm.
And I'd never really taken a real long vacation, but that time I took about a month.
Oh, wow.
And I traveled pretty much from Rome to Florence, but we stayed mainly in it was like a small town called near Pienza.
Hmm.
And I just fell in love with Italy.
Hmm.
And so after that, a friend of mine had a conference in Rome. And I said, hey, can I tag along?
Hmm.
And so we split a room and I stayed in Rome for about a week. And, at that point, I started to think life is short. This is a good, nice place. And I knew I didn't want to live up there because I'm more of a climate type person and I like Southern California climate.
Hmm.
And I had heard that Southern Italy, one, it's a lot less expensive to live in,
Hmm.
and the climate it almost parallels Southern California. And
Okay.
so I started looking into cultural immersion classes in Southern Italy, and I found this Italian guy, well, an Australian guy who has an Italian background,
Hmm.
and he has this cultural immersion class that lasts for a month. He usually offers it in May and September, and it's learning Italian in Lecce. And so I said, hey, why not do that? It was like, I think about $3,000
Hmm.
and it included education, um, room, uh, and then trips around the region for a month.
Hmm.
And I saw where, I mean, 2 weeks sometimes would be like $3,000. So I
Hmm.
said that was a good deal.
Hmm.
And so I did that May of a year ago.
Okay.
And so that brought me to this region. And I really liked it. I said, this might be a place where I'd want to live,
Hmm.
because I have a visa for a year.
Hmm.
So I had to get like a bank account, an apartment. They have something called a codice fiscale, which
Hmm.
is it's like a social security
Right.
number
Yeah.
for Italy.
Hmm.
And so I had to get those things, and I had already made some connections and stuff here.
Hmm.
So this was like the perfect place.
So when you're coming from California, what was your profession in California before you moved to Italy?
So I worked at Boeing,
Hmm.
and I uh, my final years I was more of a project manager, but
Hmm.
earlier I was more of a network engineer, systems engineer type person.
Okay. And so did you retire from Boeing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
And
and I worked at another company, Northrop Grumman.
mhm.
Yeah.
So with doing the corporate thing for so long in the US, what made you say, I want to move out of the country?
Oh, a few things.
Okay.
Um, One, I'm of that certain age. I just turned 60. Well, actually, I'll be 61 next month. But a few of my friends who were that I grew up with just passed away. And, I just realized life is short.
Hmm.
And if there's something that you really want to do, um, there's no need in putting it off.
Hmm.
I figured I was pretty I felt comfortable about leaving. My only reservation is I have my mother's like 90. She'll be 94 in November, and
Okay.
she's not in the best health, but she's in a nursing home, and
Hmm.
I FaceTime with her and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I mean that's my biggest the only big issue about leaving the U.S. I was glad to be here with all this COVID stuff.
Yeah, so I definitely want to talk to you about
Oh
COVID
yeah,
in Italy and how you did that. But I do want to talk, kind of stay on that point
yeah.
of leaving corporate
Leaving.
America to come out of the country. So is it because you traveled out of the country before and so
Oh
you were comfortable?
yeah.
Or what
So
made you take this leap to know, okay, this is something I could do?
yeah. So I'll tell you. So I was also in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force
Okay.
for 11 years,
Okay.
and before that, my mom she wouldn't fly. So pretty much, if we couldn't drive somewhere, we
Hmm.
didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
And so when I was in the Air Force, I had some projects over in Germany,
Hmm.
and I think coming over here to Germany and just seeing the different culture over
Hmm.
here,
Hmm.
I had a little bug,
Hmm.
and so I would usually, like, if I had work, I would usually try to tag on like maybe a week or
Hmm.
so of vacation time. So I got to go to Germany, Spain, um, South Korea.
Hmm.
I think my time in those places, just talking to people,
Hmm.
and um, I felt comfortable with it. I really liked it.
So your transition, so when you were like, life is short, I want to move out the country, what type of research did you do to determine that this is where you were going to go, this part of
Okay.
Italy? So what was the research process for
Yeah.
that?
So I mean, first, yeah, I tell you, I did the trip to Italy with my
Mm-hmm.
friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, I started researching climates in
Okay.
Italy. When I found out about the cultural immersion class in Lecce, I said, "Oh, this looks like a pretty good place." And I started to
I
look
gotcha.
down, focus on this area. I mean, the other thing was just looking at YouTube videos. I love the beach too. And, architecture, the beaches, the people are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, down here, the people are really warm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so
And
you moved there by yourself, is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah.
So that's a big jump. So can you talk about how you retired, you left the US, you was going by yourself, you didn't know the
Yeah.
language, and you were just
Well,
like, I'm
yeah.
out of
So,
here.
so I retired January of 2019, and I kind of focused 2019 as my year to discover. And so I planned the like the 2-month trip to Italy, but I
Mhm,
also traveled across the US,
mhm,
just to make sure, okay, there's no place that I really want to be there.
mhm,
And so I traveled to Portland, I traveled to Seattle, I traveled to Florida. Um, I spent like a month in my hometown of Charleston,
mhm,
and I knew that wasn't the place. They weren't places that I wanted to be.
mhm, mhm.
Whereas when I was over here, I felt like at home almost.
Mhm, mhm.
Although it was
That
totally,
feeling is hard to explain, but you do feel like,
yeah.
oh, yeah. So because you were going there for a language course, did the language immersion course help you in regards to telling you what paperwork?
Oh
You
no,
shaking your
no.
head no. Like what?
It didn't even help me that much with the learning the language.
Oh
We'd go to class, but it was a vacation.
no.
I
Okay.
mean,
But
I'm
how did
learning more of the language now that I'm here.
then you were learning for the course?
Yeah,
But so when you initially went there, did they assist you with getting the necessary paperwork that you did need in order to stay in the country?
but I was kind of lucky in that I, I met a lot of people here,
Okay.
and so I met a lawyer who he's he actually studied at Harvard,
Okay.
so he knows English really well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from a town that's kind of south of here, but he kind of really help navigate like the things that I needed to do, help me put that checklist together. So I had to go through the Italian embassy in Los Angeles, since that was the region
Mm-hmm.
that I lived in.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a checklist on their website, but
Oh, that's
this guy,
helpful because ours didn't.
oh, really?
No,
Oh,
like
yeah.
go in to find out what you need. Like,
Oh,
why
for
would you put this on your
Portugal?
website? Yes.
Yeah. This one, it actually has a pretty good checklist.
Good.
And when I took all the information in, I had everything kind of marked off, and
Mm-hmm.
within a week I had my visa.
Nice. That is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I mean, I've heard horror stories, but
I'm in one, but okay. No, it's okay. So talk to us about you just recently got to Italy, like
yeah,
to
I
be
I
there.
arrived on the 28th of January.
And COVID came
Yeah.
shortly after that.
Oh, what made it really bad was, okay, my apartment was supposed to be ready on the 1st of February,
Okay.
but Italy, well, really Southern Italy, nothing
Okay.
happened on schedule. I
Okay.
mean, that's one thing you have to have is patience here.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, my landlord was really nice. He put me up in a Airbnb, and it was pretty nice Airbnb. And he actually paid for half the rent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that was a good
That would have
thing.
not happened in the States.
No, 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 you probably have to fend for yourself. But so I was there until 2 days after they locked down the whole country.
Okay. So how was
Right?
that? You're in a new country, you don't speak the language that well. Now there's a pandemic. Like, how did you emotionally deal?
Well, I mean, luckily I have friends here, and
Okay.
then um, and then I kept in touch with people that friends in California, friends in South Carolina. Um, did FaceTime, Zoom. So here, when they locked down, I mean, they really locked down,
Mm-hmm.
because you couldn't leave your town,
Mm-hmm.
and really your house, you had to have a form, like a authorization form that you sign it, but
Mm-hmm.
you'd have to say what time you left your house, where you're going. You can only go to certain places. You could only go to the grocery store, pharmacy, or see a doctor, or if you were lucky enough to be able to work, to work.
And the location where you are, the COVID numbers weren't that,
Right. That
they
was
weren't
the
really
other good
there.
thing,
Okay.
because being way far south, I'm like, it's 6 hours south of Rome by train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So since you made this move, like how has moving abroad changed your perspective on life?
Ah, you know, um, I'll tell you, I just feel a lot more relaxed,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
because I was pretty stressed in California,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's cost of living is expensive, traffic is heavy, you're always around a lot of people. I mean, here you're around people, but they're not. It's not like you're bunched up, and um, the traffic jams here are nothing like traffic jams in LA.
Right. And what advice would you give to individuals that are considering moving abroad?
I mean, first, I think they have to know what they're looking for.
I
Because I
agree.
mean, for me, I put together a little requirements list of what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I wanted a place that had climate similar to California, close to the beach, um, cost of living was low,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I like sort of medium size to smaller towns,
Mm-hmm.
because Lecce is about maybe 100,000 people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's not a huge city, but it has all the resources that you would need.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm still trying to figure out like medical and
Mm-hmm.
dental and all that other
That
stuff.
takes a while. It takes a minute. I'm still trying to figure it out as well. And so the picture I saw that I love, which I'm gonna end up posting in the interview, is you in a classroom with a bunch of other foreigners. And you said that Italy actually gives language courses
Oh
to
yeah,
foreigners. They're for free, right?
look, 10 euro.
No, 10 euros. Okay. Okay. So
I
how did
mean,
you find out
it's
about this?
practically free.
Yeah, how did you
Well,
find out about this?
I found out through another American that's here,
Mm-hmm.
and um, apparently they have these classes all over Italy.
Okay.
So it's CPIA. I forget.
CPIA. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and you could look it up. And for most of the cities, they will have a CPIA. And so my class was 10 euro, and the book was 10 euro. So
Is that for the whole class or is that a day or what is that?
no, it's it. So actually, I just got my certificate. My
Oh, how long was the
certificate.
class?
So with COVID, it got
Ah,
delayed some, because
okay.
it was supposed to be from, I think, February to maybe the beginning of May,
Oh, okay.
but they closed all the schools in
Hmm.
March. We used Zoom.
Ah,
Zoom.
okay.
Yeah, for class.
Did you develop your network of friends and things before you got into Italy, or did you join certain expat groups, or how
Oh
did you
yeah.
start to meet people?
So I met a lot of people through that cultural immersion class.
Mm-hmm.
And then through that cultural immersion class, I found out about expats in Lecce, expats in Puglia, expats in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually met
And did you
people
find those on like online on Facebook
on
or
Facebook.
on
On
Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I've actually met people through those expat
Mm-hmm.
groups. I
Okay.
mean, both either just virtually, but I've met a few people actually in person. Really, I mean, unless you're just a hermit,
Mm-hmm.
you aren't going to be lonely. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you just
I
have
would
to go
agree.
out and you
Yeah.
know try different things.
Yeah, you definitely make an effort. But the good thing is, like, I find is that, like, I'm a bit of an introvert with like extrovert tendencies. So
Uh-huh.
I can be by myself, but then, when I want to come out and meet people, it's relatively easy. I mean, it's easy when people are nice. Like, when people are nice,
All
it's
right.
relatively easy to meet new friends pretty easily. So, Jay, that was awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And until next time, guys, bye.
Bye.